Now next example is, again it's very important. If n is a non-linear space, prove that n is a Banach space if and only if the set X whose norm is equal to 1 is a complete. Now in this question, if I take this set as a S, so my purpose is, if n is complete then S is complete, and if S is complete then n is complete. So that is my purpose. Now first I take, let n be a Banach space, n be a Banach space, right? So it means n is complete, n is complete. My aim is, our claim, the set S which is all x belongs to n such that norm of x equal to 1 is complete. So I will take a Cauchy sequence from S and then prove that it is a convergent in S. So here I take this xn be a Cauchy sequence in S, right? So it means it satisfies two values. One, it is a part of S, then it means norm of xn is equal to 1, right, for every n. Second, it is a Cauchy sequence, so it implies norm of xn minus xm approaches to 0 as mn approaches to infinity. So this is equation number 1. So from this we get two kind of equation, and that kind of equation is this. One is Cauchy sequence and second is norm is equal to 1. Now clearly S is part of n. Remember that. If S is part of n, then it implies every Cauchy sequence of S is also a Cauchy sequence in n, right? Cauchy sequence in n, right? Because every Cauchy sequence in S is also a Cauchy sequence in n. Now what is n? N is complete. What is n? N is complete. Then it means that sequence xn which is convergent in n, right? If convergent in n, so it means there exists x belongs to n such that limit n approaches infinity, xn is equal to x, which is equation number 2. But my purpose is, the sequence xn is convergent in S. So it will be convergent in S if x belongs to S. When x belongs to S? If norm of x equal to 1. So that is my purpose here. Now norm is a continuous function. We already proved that. Now from this, norm of x, which is equal to norm of limit n approaches infinity xn, since norm is continuous function, so I can take limit outside because of continuity. So this is norm of xn. Also we know that norm of xn equal to 1. So we get this norm of x, which is equal to 1. It implies x belongs to S, and it implies this Cauchy sequence is convergent in S, and it implies S is complete. So this is a first part of the proof. What is the first part of the proof? If n is complete, then S is also complete. Now second part, if S is complete, then n is also complete. So to prove second part, my aim is to show that if S is complete, then n is also a complete. Clear? Now this given part, now in this part S is complete, and my aim is to prove that n is complete. Let converse part, S is, which is a set of all x belongs to n, norm of x equal to 1, this is a complete. This is a complete, right? And my purpose is n is complete. So again, on similar line of action, I will take some Cauchy sequence in n. So suppose, let again this xn be a Cauchy sequence in n, right? So by definition, it implies norm of xn minus xm, it approaches to 0 as mn approaches to infinity. So which is equation number 3. So that is a definition of Cauchy sequence, and my aim is to prove it is a convergent. So one result that we will use in this proof, that is absolute value of norm of xn minus norm of xm, which is less than equal to norm of xn minus xm, and this term approaches to 0 as mn approaches to infinity, right? So what we get? We get this sequence. This sequence is a Cauchy sequence. This difference approaches to 0. Then it implies the sequence of norm xn, which is a Cauchy sequence in R or C, because norm is in R. So this is a Cauchy sequence in R. If it is a Cauchy sequence of real number, and we know that R is complete, then it means this sequence is convergent, right? Because R is complete, so this sequence is convergent. In addition to that, also every convergent sequence is bounded. So also this sequence is bounded. So remember these two things, which is equation number 4. Norm of xn, which is a convergent. If it is a convergent, then the norm of xn is a bounded, right? So here we prove these two results. Now my aim is to prove that this sequence is convergent in n, right? So first I will convert a sequence in term of s, in term of member of s, that we will find as yn taken as xn over norm of xn. So this is a Cauchy sequence. So I consider yn. Why I consider yn? Because norm of yn, which is equal to 1, right? It implies this yn belongs to s. Yn belongs to s. So it means yn is a sequence in s. So this is our first part. Now second part, this yn minus ym, this can be written as norm of xn over norm of xn, and here xm over norm of xm, this values, right? Now this can be written as minus xm over norm of xm plus xm over norm of xm, this values. So this value can be written in this form and this value can be written in this form. So this is equal to this values, which is 1 by norm of xn is a common term. If it is a common term, 1 by norm of xn into xn minus xm plus, this is first term, and second term this xm is common, so this is xm is common, and remaining term is 1 by norm of xn minus 1 by norm of xm. So this is a norm of xm minus norm of xn over norm of xm into norm of xn, this values. So that is in bracket. So this values, this is in bracket. So by using triangle inequality, so this term is less than equal to. So here I will use the triangle inequality. So by using triangle inequality, this will be 1 by norm of xn, which is treated as scalar term, which is xn minus xm plus here norm of xm, and this is, so this term is again norm of this, which is a absolute value of norm of xm minus norm of xn over norm of xm into norm of xn, right? So this term xm is cancelled to this term, and we get, which is a less than equal to 1 by norm of xm into norm of xn minus xm plus 1 by norm of xn into norm of xn xm, this minus norm of xn, and this value is in absolute values. Clear? So I already proved that this sequence is a convergent, and again this sequence is a convergent. Clear? And this approaches to 0, again this approaches to 0. If this sequence is convergent, suppose norm of xn approaches to alpha, this is alpha, so 1 by norm of xn, which is approaches to 1 by alpha, so also we can say that it approaches to alpha dash. So by equation number 1 and 2, this term approaches to 1 by alpha into 0. Similarly, this term 1 by alpha into 0. So total term is 0 as m and n approaches to infinity, as m and n approaches to infinity. So it means yn is a Cauchy sequence in yn is a Cauchy sequence in n, right? If yn is a Cauchy sequence in n, and also yn n is complete, the total n is complete, so it means, since it implies this ym minus yn approaches to 0 as mn approaches to infinity. So it means this yn is a Cauchy sequence in n, and what is n? N is complete. So if n is complete, then it implies there exists y belongs to n such that this y is equal to limit n approaches infinity yn, right? Or we can say that yn approaches to y as n approaches to infinity, right? Clear? So from this we prove that this sequence yn, this is approaches to y as n approaches to infinity. But my purpose is this yn approaches to y. If yn approaches to y, and what is yn? Yn is basically xn over norm of xn, right? So if yn approaches to y, then xn over norm of xn approaches to, then this is, if yn approaches to y, then xn over norm of xn, it approaches to y, right? It implies xn approaches to norm of xn into y, So this is a convergent sequence, and it approaches to alpha, and this is y as n approaches to infinity. So it implies this xn sequence approaches to alpha y as n approaches to infinity, right? So what we get this belongs to this values. Now from this, our purpose is y should be member of S. So how y is a member of S? If norm of y, so this is alpha y, clear? So y belongs to this n. So from this we know that where alpha is equal to norm of xn as n approaches to infinity. Now y is member of S, as we know that, because yn is a sequence in S, so it converges to member of S. So this y is member of S. Now what is S? S is subspace, so it is closed under scalar multiplication. So in that case alpha y, it is also member of S. So this xn approaches to alpha y, and this I repeat once again, so this is, leave that, this y is member of S and S is part of n, right? It means y is part of n is vector space. If it is vector space, it is closed under scalar multiplication, then this alpha y belongs to n. So this sequence, which is a sequence in n and that converge to point of n, it means this n is complete. So this n is complete. So that is the second part of the theorem. What is the second part of the theorem? If S is complete, then n is complete. Now after that, next topic is direct sum of a vector space. So what is direct sum of a vector space? If we have some vector space Vf, which is a direct sum of the subspace, which is M and N, and this Z, suppose vector space V over field F, right? This is vector space over field F. We can say that it is a direct sum of its subspace M and N, right? If every member of V can be uniquely expressible as sum of member of M and N, right? If I take some Z belongs to V and that can be written as Z is equal to X plus Y, and this expression is unique, and X belongs to M and Y belongs to N. So this is a direct sum of M and N. This can be written as M direct sum N, which is equal to V. So this is a direct sum of M. Also this V, which is M direct sum of N, it has two property. One is it can be represented as sum, it means V is equal to M plus N, and second is this expression is unique, or we can say that this intersection is consisting only 0 element. So this is a direct sum, this is a definition of a direct sum of the any vector space. V is vector space over field. This can be written as the direct sum of the subspace M and N, and that M and N is written in this form, which is M direct sum N. Clear? Now, on the basis of this result, it is very important result. If B is direct sum of M and N, what is B? B is Banach space. So this is Banach space, which is direct sum of its subspace, and that subspace is M and N. If Z, by using this property, x plus y is unique expression of a vector, Z belongs to B, right? The new norm, so we define a new norm. So remember, this is a B space. On B already one norm exists, right? That is the basic norm that we already given that it is a norm. And new function, basically not norm, new function is defined, that is defined in this way. And my aim is it is a also norm. So element in both cases are member of B, in this case and also in this case. And in this case it is a norm, means satisfy the condition of norm. But here we want to prove that it satisfy all the condition of norm, then it will be norm on B. When this is norm, it is treated as B, and when we prove this is norm on B, then it is treated as B dash. So prove this is actually norm. If B dash symbolize the linear space B with the new norm, prove that B dash is a Banach space if M and N are closed in B. So first I will prove this is a norm. Second, I will prove with this norm it is a complete if M and N are closed in B. So there are two parts in this theorem, article, example. One part to prove this is a norm where x is M, belongs to M, y is belongs to N, and z is belongs to B. And second part is with this norm it is a complete if M and N is a closed, right? So all the given conditions are given. So first we will prove it is a norm. Now first step, let B is given as M and its direct sum N, right? So it means if I take Z belongs to B, it implies Z can be written as x plus y, and this expression is unique where x belongs to M and y belongs to M. That is by definition. Now new norm, which is norm of, not it is a new function, so we'll prove it is a norm. Here now it is a only simple function, this values, right? Now this x is part of M, right? And M is part of B. This y is part of N, and N is part of B, and B has a norm this, then it satisfies all the four properties. So now this value is greater than equal to 0, this value greater than equal to 0. So entire total term is greater than equal to 0. It implies this with the dash is greater than equal to 0, so it proves the property number 1. So that is very simple. Now property number 2. Property number 2, let this functional value equal to 0. It implies this values equal to 0. Sum of two positive term is 0, then each value is 0, right? And it implies, because it is a norm, so x 0 and y 0, right? It implies z, which is x plus y, so this z will be 0. Clear? Now reverse the process. If z 0, then this 0, then this 0, then this 0, then this 0. So it proves the property number 2. Now property number 3. Clear? So which is a triangle inequality, and similarly property number 4, which is a scalar multiplication. So here I take 2z1 and z2, which is member of B, then z1 can be written as x1 plus y1, z2 can be written as x2 plus y2, where x1, x2 member of M and y1, y2 member of N. Clear? Now this is values. Now my aim is to prove triangle inequality under this function, this values, substitute its value, which is x1 plus y1 plus x2 plus y2, this dash, which is x1 plus x2 y1 plus y2, and this is again this values dash, right? Now using the definition, so this dash can be written as norm of x1 plus x2 into norm of y1 plus y2. Clear? So from this I will use the basic definition. Why basic definition? This x1 is a part of M, this x2 is a part of M, and this sum is a part of M. Similarly, y1 is a part of N, y2 is a part of N, then this sum is a part of N. So this definition, this can be written as, which is norm of x1 plus x2 plus norm of y1 plus y2, right? So just the definition of a norm, that we write it as in this way. So this is a definition of norm. Again apply triangle inequality. This is norm of x1 plus norm of x2 plus norm of y1 plus norm of y2, right? Now this is less than equal to norm of x1 plus norm of y1 plus norm of x2 plus norm of y2, right? Again using the definition of norm, So which is Z1 dash and this is Z2 dash. So it implies which is norm Z1 plus Z2 dash less than equal to norm of Z1 dash plus this is a Z2 dash. So it satisfies the third property of a norm. So remember this, first, second and third. Now fourth property. So prove fourth property. I will take a alpha be a some scalar. So this is alpha z. So if z is x plus y, so alpha z is alpha x plus alpha y. This is dash. By definition, this is alpha x plus alpha y. By definition of norm, this is norm of x plus this into norm of y. So this can be written as absolute value bracket norm x plus norm y, which is equal to absolute value of alpha into z dash. So it satisfy the fourth property of this new norm. If it satisfy all the property, then this is this new term which is a this dash which is a norm on. So this is a so this term is, it implies this is norm on B, right? So it is our first part to prove it is a norm on B. Now with this norm, it is treated as B dash. So this is B with this norm. Now next part is if M and N these are closed in B, then it implies B dash is also complete. B dash is also complete, not closed. So B dash is complete. So this deleted. So B dash is complete. To prove B dash is complete with this norm, with the dash norm, so we will take a Cauchy sequence in B dash. Then we will prove that this space, this Cauchy sequence convergent in a B, right? In a B dash. So I will take Cauchy sequence in B dash, then I will prove that Cauchy sequence convergent in B dash. Now let this so here I take this, let Zn be a Cauchy sequence in B dash. So what is B dash? Is basically B but only in term of x plus y, and only and again it can be written in the form of x plus y, xn plus yn. Now it implies, because it is a sequence in x and y, so this Zn can be written as xn plus yn. This Zn can be written as xn plus yn, where xn belongs to m and yn belongs to n. So its norm in dash, so which is norm xn plus norm y. So remember this. Now it is a Cauchy sequence in B dash. It implies norm of Zn minus Zm dash approaches to 0 as m and n approaches to infinity, right? Now from this, similarly Zm dash we can also write it as, and what is Zn minus Zm dash, which is a norm of xn minus xm plus norm of yn minus ym. It approaches to 0 as m and n approaches to infinity, right? So just using the definition, because Zn is this and Zm is xm plus ym, and Zn minus Zm, which is xn minus xm plus yn minus ym. Again using norm we will get this equation. From this we get xn minus xm approaches to 0 and yn minus ym approaches to 0 as mn approaches to infinity. So it means this is a Cauchy sequence in M and this is a Cauchy sequence in N, right? So M and N, because this is a member of M and N. So in this way we can say that Xn is a Cauchy sequence in M, and similarly Yn is a Cauchy sequence in N. And what is M and N? These are the closed subspace of B, and B is complete. So closed subspace of complete space is again closed. So what is closed subspace of complete metric space is complete, right? So by using this result, it implies M and N are complete. M and M are complete. Since Xn is Cauchy sequence in M, so it is convergent in M. Since Yn is Cauchy sequence in N, so it is a convergent in N. It means there exist x belongs to M such that limit n approaches infinity xn equal to x, there exists y belongs to n. So limit n approaches infinity yn equal to y, this values. Clear? So x belongs to M, y belongs to n. So we take z which is equal to x plus y. So clearly z belongs to B dash. Z belongs to B because it is a direct sum of M plus n. X, and since limit is unique, so this expression is unique. So first part belongs to M, second part belongs to n, so total sum belongs to M plus n, which is a B, right? So this Z belongs to B. So remember this Z which is x plus y, and it belongs to B. Now my purpose is to prove the Cauchy sequence Zn convergent in B. So that is we already proved that. Now xn approaches to x, xn approaches to x, and yn approaches to y. It means this sum approaches to x plus y. So what is this? This is a Zn. And what is this? This is a Z, right? So it means this Zn approaches to Z, and this Z belongs to B dash because under norm dash. So it means every Cauchy sequence, every Cauchy sequence Zn in B dash is convergent in B dash, then it implies B dash is complete under the new norm. So that is our result. It is a complete under the new norm.